Everyone, and welcome to the second video of the Python for Microscopy course. Today it's about setting up Python on your computer. What are the objectives of this video? So first of all, we want to install Python on your computer, either Windows or macOS. Install an integrated development environment, for example Spyder, and write and run your first script. So first of all, how do you actually install Python? First, on Windows, so you need to check if Python is already installed so you don't mess with the current Python installation. How do you do that? So you can open the command prompt in Windows, pressing the Windows button in R to open the Run dialog, and then type cmd and press Enter to open the command prompt. Next, you want to check the Python version. In the command prompt, you can type Python space minus version or Python minus v and press Enter. And if Python is already installed, it will display the version number. If not, it will show an error. Now, how do you go ahead? You can download the Python installer on the official Python website. The link is displayed here. Click on the Downloads tab and select the latest version for Windows. After that, you run the installer, you double click on it and check in the installer the box that says add Python to path during the installation. But you have to make sure that Python is not installed, because adding two Pythons to your path can cause troubles. And finally, you complete the installation by clicking on Install Now and let the installer complete the process. After the installation, you repeat the process of finding out the version of Python as explained before. If you're using a macOS computer, you can open the terminal by Command and space, typing terminal and then pressing Enter to open the terminal. Here you check the Python version by typing Python 3, then minus version and pressing Enter. Same, if Python is installed, it will display the number. If not, it will show an error. The installation steps are then similar. So you have to go to the official website again, click on Downloads and select the latest version for macOS. Double click on the downloaded installer file and then follow the on-screen instructions. Again, during the installation, you have to add Python to the path. And finally, verify the installation by checking the version. So this is just one possibility or one approach to install Python. You can also do it by other approaches, but this I think is the most beginner-friendly one. So in Mac, this could look like this. In the terminal window, you type Python 3 minus version and find the version here. In my case, it's Python 3.11.2. The next step for our Python journey is installing an integrated development environment. So what is that actually? An IDE? It is a software application that provides a user-friendly interface with tools for writing, testing, and debugging code. And it streamlines the process of software development for programmers by consolidating various development tasks into a unified environment. It also offers a lot of integrations, which makes it all more convenient. Popular IDEs are PyCharm, which I used in the past, Spyder, and Idle. I'm going ahead and I will show you how to install Spyder, a very popular IDE. So first of all, you have to go to the Spyder website, displayed here. Then download Spyder, either for Windows or for Mac, and download the installer. On the web site, it looks like this. The download tab you can find over here. Then download the package and simply install Spyder. You have to then run the installer and simply follow the on-screen instructions, and finally launch Spyder. This process shouldn't be very complicated. After launching Spyder, you will see the start interface of the program. So we have three main areas. The first area, you can find the actual code. In the second area, you can, for example, explore variables, but also plots, and have a look at your file system on your computer. And in the bottom right, you can see the console, which is basically interactive Python, and there will also be displayed prints and or outputs of your program, of your script, but this we will cover in a later video. On the top, you will find several buttons. On the left, file management buttons, for example, new file or save file, open file, etc. Next to that, buttons for running the script. We will use that plenty of times. And to the right, buttons for debugging. We will also cover that in another video. So now let's go ahead and write and run our first script. So the objective is, that's a classic in programming, we want to print out hello world to the console. How do we actually do that? So now I'm in the Spyder environment, and we want to print out hello world to the console, which is over here on the bottom right. So what do we need in order to print out these characters or this text? I will cover this in the next video. This string it's called, but this text, we need a function, a built-in function called print. You can print basically every text to the console. For example, simply the character A. And you have to think about this Python script as a text or a set of characters and strings and expressions that the computer tries to understand in the next step. And it reads this file from the top to the bottom. So this right here is just a comment. This I will also cover in some future video. So this doesn't do anything except informing us about, for example, what the content of this file is. And after that, the computer runs through this file and finds this expression, which is a function, print, and this tries to do something and print to the console. And then we can just click on this symbol here, on this play symbol, to run the file. And as we can see here, it just ran the file, and here's our output A. And to achieve the objective, we want it to print hello world to the console. We can repeat the step and can see here, okay, the computer indeed printed out hello world to the console. Finally, let's have a look at the objectives again. First of all, we installed Python on the computer, either for Windows or for macOS. Next, we had a look at how to install an IDE, or what an IDE actually is, for example, Spyder. And finally, we wrote and ran the first line of code in our first script. Thank you for your attention. Next up, if you have questions, you can feel free to leave a comment. And in the next video, I'm going to be covering variables and data types as a very fundamental concept, not just in Python, but in programming in general. See you soon.